Hello and welcome to this episode of Central Intelligence. I'm Cicely.
And I'm Melissa. This week we spend time with a horse trainer. We also explore a miniature world of art.
Stay tuned for these stories and more because this is CI.
Grab your hat, saddle, and giddy up as we trot down to Sugar Creek Arena.
A second home to Becky Phillips, a reining trainer who's turning her passion into purpose.
So the main maneuvers a reining horse should master are sliding stops, spins, circles, lead changes, and rollbacks. So reining is a competition where you go in the arena all by yourself and you have a judge judging you, and the judge is judging each maneuver, and there's usually between 12 and 14 maneuvers in each pattern, and you are judged on each maneuver with between a -1.5 and a +1.5 in half increments. The reason I chose reining is because I went to work for a reining horse trainer when I was a teenager, when I was 16 years old, and I wanted to work for him to make my barrel horses better. And I ended up falling in love with the reining. I love doing it because I love horses. I get to do what I love every single day. There's not a day that I might be tired, but there's not a day that I don't want to come out here and see the horses. So you gotta love what you do, and I am very blessed that I get to do that because that's not very common. So the horses mean a ton to me. They are just amazing animals. They're amazing to watch. They're amazing to be around. Horses, I read somewhere or saw somewhere where horses can give out a certain vibe and make you feel different whenever you're around them, whenever you get close to them, and I think that I get that feeling every day.
There you go.
So I want people to understand that reining is not as easy as it looks, and when I have people come here that want to try it, they understand that it is really not that easy, because there's so many cues that the horse has. If you ride in a different discipline, or if you just trail ride, then there's going to be a lot of training for the person that needs to happen before they can even ride a broke horse. People come in to get lessons to train their horses to do reining. It takes a lot, but some people can do it, and it's really rewarding when they do. So if you are interested in reining or training horses, period, the best thing that a young person could do is go work for somebody. And not just go work for them for 6 months or a year, go work for somebody for 4 years and really get their program down. And I think that's probably that way with any industry.
Last week, Central's art classes came together to host a mini art show.
Let's take a closer look at the people behind this showcase.
Hey Alyssa, have you gotten your supplies for the art show yet?
The big art show?
No, silly. The mini art show. Let's go check it out.
The mini art show has impacted my students in many ways. So it allows students the chance to experience what it would be like to be an artist out in the real world, where you show your work to an audience, they get to decide if they want to buy it or not, and then you get the excitement of getting some money for the art that you've made.
This year, I made 2 boards. Well, it's important to me that I put my heart and my soul into my art and not just making stuff so that I can make money. Well, the art show obviously has an impact on Central because it adds a layer of liveliness to this stressful end of the school year kind of situation, I guess you could say.
The art show has impacted me. Just seeing like other people's work has like helped to inspire me, and I feel like I can relate to some of them.
Well, I had some kind of stress because I was in it and I had to draw it, and so like I couldn't turn things in on time.
It creates sort of a community and it celebrates art.
It's a good way to show off everyone's talents.
I love it because the students are so talented.
Most important, I think, is having fun with the art, because if you're not having fun, then your art doesn't turn out as well. The excitement of seeing, like, there's a sticker under my piece, and then slowly seeing all your board fill up with stickers is also really fun.
It allows me a chance to capture memories from students who are in my room. It's nice to get little pieces that then hang on the wall around my space, and I get to have little moments when I walk around the room and remember those students who have left me. My favorite part of the mini art show is seeing the amount of people in our building who come look at the art and enjoy seeing just all of the creativity that our students have.
The mini art show has had a big impact. I can't wait to see what these students make next year.
Now let's go sell these.
Our next story is a look into Route 66 and its exhibit at the History Museum on the Square.
David Eastlick, former executive director and photographer, tells us about the development of the historic highway.
I grew up about 3 blocks north of Route 66, over on Broadway and Kearney, which was part of the original Route 66, and didn't really realize that that was an important highway. That was just a big road in North Springfield. When I got involved in Route 66, I had been taking photos for a while and had a lot of photographs of Route 66 that had shown. And then I became involved with the Route 66 Association of Missouri about 20 years ago, well, 1980, 30 years ago. Ended up being elected to that board, did history programs for the History Museum when we were in the City Hall building. And when I did history of Springfield, I always include Route 66 in it. And then as Route 66 became more revived, I mean, you know, Route 66 died in 1985 when it was decommissioned. After that, people started promoting it a little bit, thinking, okay, we're going to revive it. John T. Woodruff is one of my favorite Route 66 Springfield personalities. He not only helped name Route 66, he's very important to the economic development of Springfield. He worked for the Frisco when he first came here in 1905. But then he got involved in the automobile transportation part of Springfield and the Ozarks, and he brought in the Frisco shops. He worked for the Frisco. Route 66 didn't just happen overnight. They didn't just flip a switch and, okay, we got a highway that's 2,400 miles long. But it took time for it to evolve into the highway that it is. And there's all kinds of stories that along the highway, the people that had the farms and had the businesses along the highway, of when these guys were building this highway, it since then has been expanded to the point that there's more of it than what I consider our part of the Ozarks. But there's a lot of really neat places on Route 66 from Chicago through Springfield, Illinois, Lincoln's hometown, a lot of stops there. Whenever I visit with anybody, whenever I'm in any of these stops, I always encourage anybody, just like you kids, if you're traveling Route 66 and there's somebody in there that's not an American. You can tell by their accent, you can tell by their language, and stop and visit with them. I think that's when I realized that the importance of Route 66 needed to be carried on to the next generation, to you guys, so that when your kids are your age, they'll still know about Route 66. There'll be somebody to tell the story.
Recently, there was a terrible storm that hit the city of Springfield. Let's see what a city utilities worker has to say when comparing it to the Great Ice Storm of 2007.
2007 ice storm was significant in many ways. It was the largest power outage the city has ever experienced. The main thing was just the magnitude of the devastation and the amount of materials we were going to need to take care of this. Because it's just kind of cool. We had staging areas where we had crews that were coming in, and we had to house those folks in different hotels throughout the city. Actually, we had some folks that were staying down in Branson that we were going down to get and bring back up on a daily basis. You don't prepare for something of that magnitude. So we had, if you will, a revolving door of material going out. One gate, people were taking things out on trucks to put into the field. Another gate, you had stuff that was coming back in, poles and conductors to replenish that supply. So there was that aspect of it. The other aspect was just the toll on the human toll. We started comparing this storm last week to the storm of 2007. We did that because of the number of outages. In 2007, we had 75,000 outages. Last week, we had 50,000 outages. But this is going to rank as being probably the second largest number of customers out during a weather-related event or any type of event. If you look at 2007 and you look at how that one kind of built up, and the recent storm was very similar. The issue with that was it was earlier in the day, we didn't see it coming, but we still put that call out for assistance, and without hesitation, those other utility companies came to assist Springfield. There's lots of people behind the scenes. There's the people in the field that you see, the linemen, the tree trimmers, the field crews. But behind that is literally an army of folks that are sitting in a room dispatching those people, making sure not only that they're sent to a location, but they have the equipment they need, they have the utility resources that they need to make sure that everybody can get power back on as quickly as possible. But the main thing we want our customers to know is we're here for them round the clock. We want them to know that if there is an outage, we're going to respond to that no matter what time it is, day or night. Springfield's used to storms, Springfield's used to tornadoes, but I think this one caught everyone by surprise, even the Weather Service folks. They did not actually see this one coming. You know, we realize that it's uncomfortable and inconvenient to be without electric service or any type of service, but it takes a while to get things put back together. Sometimes you may not see something in your front yard, you may not see something across the street that you think would contribute to a power outage, but somewhere down the line on those lines is something that's causing that impact that's making that electric service interrupted. Our folks are out there to find that, repair that, and get the service back on just as quickly as possible.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Central Intelligence.
To check out our other stories and more, follow us on Instagram at @CHS_CI.
See you next year.